100,000 troops a year, if the people don't have the enablers, the ability to communicate, the ability to move where they need to move. So when you get them moving, the trucks start moving, the stores start open. So that's key. Communications and gasoline at every station. And healthcare,
this guy was recording.
some cold
Oh
storage
crap, he
vans,
left.
and I hate to use that word, at every hospital. So as people expire and die, there's a place to keep them in a dignified way. Get the
I have
body
to do
back
this
to the
15
hospital
minutes, so I have to
and
do
get
it
those
really,
people
really fast.
taken care of in a dignified way, and get liaison officers at every hospital so we can communicate with them. This will get better, but we got to get the enablers up at this time.
Let me interject here and just ask you. Of course, we're talking about how the president now has got into this Twitter feud with the mayor. Is this what the leader of the free world should be doing in a time of crisis in Puerto Rico?
Money.
I hope the president has a good day in golf, and that's all I'm going to say at this time. Commander on the ground is going to solve this problem. People are doing their best. But right now, we have to get the distribution of communications, liaison officers with every mayor, liaison officers with every hospital, where they can communicate back to General Buchanan, and he can get stuff moving. And I'm sure he's going to bring more troops in. But right now, he is the enabler so the economy can start working and people can go back to work. I do recommend that they break the script. We got to adapt and overcome and allow local mayors to hire people, use the yellow pad, keep their hours, and pay them by the week. But that's the only way we're going to get things moving and get people to work. We had a 40% unemployment rate here before the storm. Put people to work. Let them start cleaning up and start getting stuff done. But you got to have a system in here, or a promise that you're going to get paid every 2.
Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies!
Symbicort, breathe better, starting within 5 minutes.
Get Symbicort free for up to 1 year. Visit SaveOnSymbicort.com today to learn more. I just saved thousands on my loan at LendingTree.com.
In less than a minute, I found out how much home I can afford.
I like how you shop for loans the same way you shop for flights online.
I didn't realize at LendingTree, you can save money on almost any sort of loan.
I consolidated my credit card debt with a personal loan.
I found a new credit card with 0% interest for 15 months. You just shop, compare, and save. And it's all free.
Go to LendingTree right now and start saving.
The best suit you'll ever own is the one you design yourself. One that fits you perfectly. With personalized details, the finest Italian fabrics, and it's made right here in America. Custom Suits by Joseph Abboud, exclusively at Men's Warehouse.
My thanks again to House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, as well as my roundtable guests, Justin Chambers and Tim Alberta. As they noted, the president is tweeting this morning, and let's show you what he had to say in the last half hour or so. Fake news, CNN and NBC are going out of their way to disparage our great first responders as a way to get Trump. Not fair to FR or RCF. I will be going to Puerto Rico on Tuesday with Melania. We'll hopefully be able to stop at the U.S. Virgin Islands. People working hard. And finally, the fake news networks are working overtime in Puerto Rico, doing their best to take the spirit away from our soldiers and first responders. Shame. We will continue to follow on MSNBC throughout the day what the president has to say about Puerto Rico and, of course, his trip to the islands. I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Right here.
What crouching in average jeans feels like. What crouching in Duluth average jeans feels like. Duluth Trading Ballroom Jeans. Crouch without the ouch. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
I count on my Dell Small Business Advisor for tech advice. With one phone call, I get products that suit my needs and I get back to business.
Ready to take your fitness to new heights? Then it's time you go vertical with Maxi Climber, the fitness breakthrough for a calorie-burning, fat-blasting workout with intense muscle toning. Maxi Climber burns double the calories in the same amount of time as the treadmill. That's because Maxi Climber works your upper body and lower body at the same time. Every step you take brings you one step closer to the body you dreamed of. Call now. Also available at participating retailers.
It's just not the same with back pain. Dones relieves back pain.
Wow.
Dones, we've had your backs back since way back. Now available in a cream.
This is a ClassAction.com alert. Hernia mesh is a device used to repair hernias. Many patients are now claiming that the mesh manufacturer failed them, and the very mesh that was supposed to help them caused devastating injuries. If your hernia mesh failed or caused infection, organ perforation, or you now require additional surgery, call us at 800-888-1234. ClassAction.com. Information, protection.
When is shoe shopping more than just shoe shopping? When it's shoe shopping for a cure. Shop QVC presents Fitted Shoes on Sale. Many beautiful shoes for top
Oh guys, joining my world, I think
breast cancer research and education. What's not to love? Tune in Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Shop all October long at QVC.com.
Enjoy shopping with Atlantic Broadband.
There's luggage that falls apart.
See,
And
I
luggage
got
that
the
costs more
movie.
than a plane ticket.
a D-Shot.
Now,
Go
there's
to my
something new.
promotion real quick.
The perfect suitcase. Meet a wife. Thoughtfully designed luggage.
Everyone has.
That
Because
charges
it's
your
not.
phone. Fits
Oh, look,
everything
there's
and
the
never breaks.
shoe.
And lasts
Bye bye, boy,
forever.
boy, boy, boy.
Try any
Wait,
suitcase
no,
for
no,
one day. Visit awaytravel.com.
Thank you for watching today. Keep the conversation
See, I
going
just
on
glitched.
MSNBC.com.
You're a game
See you
creator.
next week on
I don't
Saturday morning
care.
right here on MSNBC. Now to my colleague Alex Wick.
I'm
Alex, the
going
president's
with
tweeting, so you're going to be busy this morning.
You said it, Hugh. Thank you very much for that. We'll see you next Saturday and certainly before on the network. Meantime, for all of you, good morning. I'm Alex Wick here at MSNBC World Headquarters in New York. At the half hour, here's what we're watching for you. As Hugh was saying, the president this morning in a series of tweets attacking the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico as outrage grows over U.S. response to the hurricane disaster there. The president has a series of phone calls scheduled today with authorities on the island. This comes after the mayor of San Juan expressed frustration with bureaucracy slowing relief efforts despite the urgent need for help. We'll have more on this in just a moment. He is now the former Health and Human Services Secretary and the 8th high-profile Trump administrator to be shown the door. In his resignation letter to the president, Tom Price says he regrets the distractions that he's caused. Price quitting amid outcry over his use of chartered planes, costing taxpayers some $400,000 plus. In Cuba, the U.S. is withdrawing the majority of personnel from its embassy in Havana. It's also warning Americans not to visit that country. These actions come in the wake of what senior State Department officials now call targeted, specific sonic attacks on U.S. diplomats. At least 21 of them have been hurt.
Very bad things happening in Cuba. Very bad things. Yeah. Well, you're going to see what's happening in Cuba, but they did some bad things in there.
The U.S. has not identified the source of the attacks, but it is not ruling out the possibility that a third country could be involved. Well, let's go right now to the mounting criticism in Puerto Rico surrounding the handling of the humanitarian crisis there. The latest coming from the mayor of San Juan.
We are dying here. And I cannot fathom the thought that the greatest nation in the world cannot figure out logistics for a small island of 100 miles by 35 miles long. So, Mayday, we are in trouble.
NBC's Mariana Tensio's in Carolina. Mariana, with a good morning to you. First off, bring us update on what the situation's like there.
Alex, I'm actually at San Juan International Airport at the moment because a C-17 just arrived desperately needed supplies.
Puerto Rico's not American.
Those supplies that we have seen hundreds of Puerto Ricans lining up to get in the past couple of days. The situation here
That's going to become a state.
more dire as the days go by. There's just no cell phone service in much of the island, no power in much of the island. People yesterday were lining up for ice because they're trying to preserve the little food they have left. And yesterday, the acting Homeland Security Secretary, Elaine Duke, responding to criticism that you played for us from the mayor of San Juan, saying those additional supplies will be headed here very soon. Let's listen.
They got it the worst. Worse than
People,
Texas.
despite the working together, I know that the people in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands are suffering. We are here and we have been here to help them. We are continually bringing additional supplies and personnel to further assist distribution efforts on the ground.
I'll try there.
It's very dire, Alex, because it's almost this or with the no cell service, with the devastating infrastructure of the access to food very limited to most people here. It's tough for these supplies to get to the people who need them most. Alex?
All right, Mariana, having a little bit of technical difficulty. I think we got the sense of things there. It's certainly the storm after the storm.
Gas is cheaper out
For all of you who can help the victims of Hurricane Maria, go to NBCNews.com/Puerto Rico with She's doing this all day for you. Meantime, joining me now, Democratic Congressman John Yarmuth of Kentucky. He is the ranking member of the Budget Committee. Congressman, with a welcome to you. Always good to see you on a Saturday morning. Let's get right to your reaction to the president's tweets this morning attacking the mayor of San Juan. You heard her there in part, saying the Democrats have turned her against him. Wasn't this weekend the best opportunity to try to reset his administration's response, especially if you said when you go there and visit Tuesday?
It's mind-boggling, Alex, and I hate to say, I can't say any more that I'm surprised by the president's conduct because he's eliminated the word surprise from the vocabulary. He does things that are absolutely outrageous, and to try to inject partisan politics into this, when you have a desperate mayor who is obviously dealing with an enormous human tragedy, and accused of succumbing to politics, is just it's so uncalled for, so inappropriate, and doesn't help solve the problem. That's the thing. But this administration did a fairly good job, apparently, in Houston and in Florida. They were late to the game in Puerto Rico, and while there are thousands of FEMA workers down there, this is something that the military should have been assigned there on day one. And the Jones Act, which allows ships carrying foreign flags to deliver goods, that should have been waived on day one. So they're obviously trying to grasp for some kind of redemption here, but I think the president's dug a deeper hole for himself.
Yeah, the Jones Act is putting that aside, didn't happen until Thursday, so a full week after the devastation there. I want to play for you what the president said yesterday about the steps helping to rebuild the island. Here it is.
Ultimately, the government of Puerto Rico will have to work with us to determine how this massive rebuilding effort will end up being one of the biggest ever, will be funded and organized, and what we will do with the tremendous amount of existing debt already on the island.
What do you think is behind this talking point? And I'm looking at where Puerto Rico is going to get their money from. The UN is not reaching out for appeal because they deal with the less developed countries in this kind of action. I mean, this is a U.S. territory.
Oh, guys.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure again what President Trump was trying to accomplish with that. The whole idea of their debt is kind of irrelevant at this point. Clearly, it's going to be a very difficult rebuilding effort, but I know that leadership in Congress, as far as I can tell, both Republican and Democratic leadership are committed to treating Puerto Rico the exact same way they would treat any state. That's appropriate, that's the way it should be, and I think the president ought to just go along with Congress on that and say they are American citizens of Puerto Rico. Yes, they are an island surrounded by lots of ocean water, as he stated the obvious. But,
and also,
but we're going to treat them the same way we would treat any of the
out
consumers.
of anything.
Congressman, stay with me, sir, because the governor of Puerto Rico is actually having a news conference right
I'll
now.
even
Here
get
is Governor Garcia of Puerto Rico. Here it is.
Of 2018. This possibility of the payments, delivering a little bit of distress on the people of Puerto Rico. What can we remind everybody that our priorities at this juncture